All right, what's up, hustlers? Man, yesterday I tried and tried. I filmed you guys two versions of the same whiteboard video. Turned out I had full storage, so that didn't work out. Tried to figure out what to delete. Came in here, filmed this video right here, which is somewhere along the lines. I'm gonna start it off with the quote, but this didn't have enough storage. I filmed two parts, and then the first part wouldn't load. Something's up with my cinematic view. I'm trying it again now, but I've cleared 50 gigs of space. But let's jump right into the conversation that I want to have with you guys today. And there was a point in time where I had to separate from my family, my mom, my grandma, and my sister in my journey. And like cold turkey, I just had to get on my grind and build, right? And a lot of like little nuances that caused me to have to do it or feel like I needed to do it. And there's two ways that this happens. You either make the choice to do it, or something happens and you don't realize it until later that some things have been pushed to the side, neglected, or you find things that weren't needed that you were doing. And in this case, I had to make that decision. And what I came up with throughout that process is like everybody can't go where you're going, but everybody's welcome when I get there. You know what I'm saying? And so when it came back and circled back, and my family and I are tight again. Um, I had to have some awkward conversations, and I had to just flat out say it wasn't about you, it was about me, right? And through that time, I think I was still local, but then maybe a few months into it, then I started, maybe a few months, yeah, probably a few months into it, I ended up traveling and basically being in California half the month for like maybe 2 or 3 years. So the entire process kind of like led me there. But at the very, very end of the day, I felt like I needed to do it. And so recently, I found out that I was a jealous person. I found out via social media that I was jealous. And it was very, very funny to me when I found out why. I don't know the details behind it outside of probably some he say, she say. But I think one of the major differences to me is like I say, I talk to people about different situations and things the same way I'm talking to you guys right now. But anything I say behind you, I'll say to you. And I probably already said it to you, but I can't have a conversation about something or somebody's growth, or sometimes I use other people to help me push a person because sometimes sometimes people just need to hear from different angles and perspectives. So if realize you have the same perspective as me on something that we're working on, or a friend of ours, I'm like, yo, I need you to nudge this person in this direction. But I can't handle the translation that that person may give on the bigger vision. So I'm assuming that that's where it came to. But I wanted to just tell you guys, sometimes you got to separate to elevate. And it may look like, in this case, I just told you earlier, like I made a decision. In this case, um, I could, for the life of me, fathom how somebody would think that I'm jealous of them. One, for the nature of you think I'm jealous and I came to work for you for $100 a day. Mind you, I also got what I needed to get out of the situation because I've learned since being blackballed. One of the first conversations I had one of my friends, you don't know if a person is a friend until the relationship has been tested, I think. And things come back. But anyway, I can't for the life of me fathom how jealous comes out of someone coming to work for you for um $100 a day, right? And I only and from the very jump, what I said was, look, I'm not here for the money. I'm here to learn. I want to learn about this industry, get some hands-on experience. I want to learn how to implement systems in this industry specifically. Then I want to spin this off into something way bigger where I think we can 6x this concept that we have here, meaning we can have 6 locations in 2 years by the second summer. I think that we can also spin this into training other people on this industry, and getting people started in this industry, whether it's a franchise or their own concept. And last but not least, I think that we can move to sell the major product, which could be anywhere from 40 to 70 grand. Okay. And we would get 30% back, 25, 20%, 30, 20 to 30% back. I'm not really interested in this, right? One, because I really don't want to work, right? And it's not that I won't do the work. Anybody who's worked with me know I'll come in, I'll clean the bathrooms, I'll do whatever is in my skill set to do, or I'll get somebody to do it with me or help me or whatever the case is that needs to be done. And in the very beginning, what I know about what I do, I learned this from being the face of 5 companies, like major companies, all $1 million, multi-million dollar companies at one time. Really becoming the face of the industry, so much that I became voted the #1 face of the industry on the very first list that one of the major publications in the space had. And I learned that I needed to help my friends from a distance. One of my buddies has a company. I could have easily pushed my way into being the face of his company, but I also know that how I move and the things that I would do as an influencer in the space may not necessarily work well for a friend, right? I want to protect my friends. So I'll help from a distance. I'll point, make plays, same stuff I was doing, but I would never walk out in front of his company as if I was the influencer of the space. So what I actually did in this case was I was like, yo, I wrote out a marketing plan. Like, here's the things that I want to implement. Here's what I would do. I left the price off, and looked it over. Oh man, let's do that. That's great. All right, cool. I said, but look, did a little test things. I said, look, if we do this, this is what it's going to appear like. I don't want it to be a problem because, yeah, it's really not worth it. It's not worth the friendship if, you're going to look at it and feel some type, oh, nah, man, I'm not on that. I'm not on that. And then slowly but surely, I believe this is what came to be. One of the things, and the reason why I'm looking for people to work with specifically in the startup phase, right? In the 6-figure startup club. What I'm looking for is a person who's already doing the work. They already got a product. They already out here selling it, trying to sell it. They're already making some type of social media content. Not necessarily that they have to be making social media content, but they have to be putting in their own work. They have to be a self-starter. Because I can take that self-starter, that energy, that product, and I can put systems and organization and understanding and processes. I can put that behind them and just make their work exponentially greater. However, I cannot work harder on someone's idea than they are willing to. And so I am very, very now selective. And if you can't meet with me at least once a week, walk away from that meeting and on at least put at least 4 more hours in, regardless, forget the excuses. I don't care when you do it, get done. Meaning we meet on some things, you leave, you knock out those things, you come back to the next meeting with the work. There's nothing I can do for you if you don't do that. And don't think that that's just at the starter level. I've had conversations with CEOs. I've told my biggest use case, maybe 2.5 years into being at LA all the time. I'm like, yo, I went there, I'm traveling there, I'm by myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, these are the time I bring my girls and I'm working, not girls. I bring my girl and I'm working in LA, right? And I'm working all day, grinding it out. Then 2.5 years into it, I go down there and, the weekend hits. We normally get up and go do stuff on the weekend and they busy. First weekend, second week. I'm like, look, bro, I could just go home. I don't need to be here. And I just flat out tell them, you're not working. I recently told another CEO this weekend, maybe like a month ago, and I'm like, yo, if we gonna have these meetings every week, you need to leave these meetings and you need to do some work. If not, we just gonna turn our meetings into work sessions and get this stuff done, because I know I'm working. I know that my daytime, I do whatever I want, but 6 o'clock to about 11 o'clock, at nighttime, I'm up and I'm putting the work in and I'm doing this stuff that needs to be done, but I can't have a task list being pushed off week after week after week after week and no work's being done. So don't think that just because you're starting out, there's no excuses, there's not other things going on. We all got stuff going on. You're going to put out one fire, you're going to walk into the next fire. That's just how it goes. And not to get too far off the topic of the video, you're going to have to separate from people. Whether you knowingly do it or unknowingly do it, you're going to have to separate. And oddly enough, before we had the Entrepreneur Social, I had a conversation with the group. We were having a meeting. And I was like, look, I want this campaign to be all new friends, right? Like Drake made this song, no new friends, no new friends, no new, right? And I'm like, that ain't the way. That's not the way. And I want the campaign to be all new friends. I'm wearing an all new friends shirt to the event. Y'all can wear all new friends shirt to the event if y'all want. Y'all don't have to. Y'all can wear your own stuff. But I'm looking for all new friends. And oddly enough, I wake up the next morning to some subliminal messages, and I'm that guy. I'm gonna go straight. Like, if I got something to say, I'm gonna pick up the phone and call you. Somebody say something about you, I'm gonna pick up the phone. First of all, I'm gonna stop them. I'm gonna pick up the phone, and let's figure this out. And so it's odd that happened that way, but it's just a testament, right? Like, at the end of the day, we all we got. All I do is sit up here and try to figure out what my next play, my next move is. I'm gonna make another video about, I just left the warehouse picking up some work here, some prints, got some shirts to knock out. So if you need shirts for your business or yourself, hit me up. These are like label decals. You can see the all new friends on here, right here. All new friends. We got more money, more peace. We got wellness is a vibe. So I got some things that is on my mind business-wise that I want to share with you guys. This right here is my diary. I'm trying to give y'all something every day. My thoughts, what I'm doing, what I'm working on every single day. Because when I come back to this, it's going to be a monumental story that you guys are all going to get to see. You know what I mean? You all are going to understand. Like, I feel like I had to go through what I went through to be able to have these conversations, to be able to give this game away. And I feel like I'm unstoppable now, right? And I may not be where I want to be, but the grind is going to get me to where I need to go. So that's all I got for you guys. In this one, I might give y'all 3 today because I feel like I let y'all down yesterday. And I was up at 11 o'clock trying to get this video to work last night, 11:30, just trying to get the second video to render itself so that I could put it into an editing software. But I've cleared 50 gigs. So I'm about to give y'all game. I'm going to keep pumping and dumping so I don't get overly full. But I'm going to keep giving y'all this game. And I appreciate y'all. Remember, everybody needs a stand. Peace.